Welcome everyone to this brief live event hosted by UK Indian Muslim Council. Today marks the launch of an insightful report titled "The Portfolios of Hate." This report examines the use of hate and Islamophobia as political tools and leverages to gain power or stay in power in India. This report will now soon be available on our website that delves into critical insights to shed light on this concerning trend. On our social platform shortly. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Muhammad Uwais, one of our directors of UK Indian Muslim Council, to highlight the key findings of portfolios of hate. Over to you, Uwais.
Jazakallah Jasim Bhai. Thank you for the amazing work that you put in as well. Really proud to kind of get the ball rolling with this, and it's a sign of things to come with UKIMC. So thank you to the team. Thank you to Jasim Bhai in particular. I think you've put a lot of extensive time and effort into this. And great to have you, everyone. This is a live session, but it will be on YouTube and our streaming platforms, so you'll be able to watch it back. But we did wanted to do a small launch for this, and I think it was important that it got a bit of a launch. Now, our report Portfolios of Hate contains sort of a non-exhaustive list of 70 randomly curated incidences of hate speech recorded by national media houses spread across different regions. Of the 70 incidents involving a selected 36 personalities from both tenures of the BJP government and the NDA-led government, what's really interesting to see is in that first period, we had 23 incidences that we've recorded and we think are really important, and it's actually doubled in the next tenure. And what that's showing is that the trend of Hindutva is only getting stronger and stronger, more vehement, more violent, and there are no signs of it abating. So I think the message we're trying to send here is we want the key decision makers to know that this authoritarianism, this ideological Hindutva is at this moment in time certainly becoming a lot stronger. And we have another video actually coming out very soon where Professor Irfan Ahmad actually talks about it not necessarily being a party-specific issue, but more of an ideological issue and how we should tackle that. So please watch out for that. That will hopefully be released within the next week or two. And that will kind of explain the Portfolios of Hate report we've got. So what we're trying to say here is we've seen a doubling of incidences of hate from the first tenure of the BJP to the second tenure, and we're expecting that to get a lot worse. In fact, I think Jasima, we just saw something today, and that's kind of been plastered all over the news. I wonder whether I can share it. I think it's important that we do share it, just to give you guys an idea as to, you know, how it's brazen, so open, and sort of unapologetic. So let's see if I can just share my screen and just show what the PM is actually saying today. Let's see if we can do this.
और पहले जब उनकी सरकार थी उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है। इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे। घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे। क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा? आपको मंजूर है ये कांग्रेस का मैनिफेस्टो कह रहा है कि वो माताओं बहनों का सोने का हिसाब करेंगे, उसकी जड़ती करेंगे, जानकारी लेंगे और फिर उस संपत्ति को बांट देंगे और उनको बांटेंगे जिनको मनमोहन सिंह जी की सरकार ने कहा था कि संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है। भाइयों बहनों, ये अर्बन नक्सल की सोच मेरी माताओं बहनों।
So I think you've all heard that. Hopefully that recording came out okay. Jassim Bhai, I don't know whether you want to give some context into what was just said for those that might not be aware of exactly what was said there.
Well, thank you. Basically, this happened today. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi was campaigning in Rajasthan today when he was giving a speech over there. He said this statement. So he's talking about a statement which was given by the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. So he said in one of his speeches that Muslims have the first right to wealth of the nation. So this Manmohan Singh, the former prime minister, had said this in one of his speeches. There is no doubt about that. But this was taken many times earlier as well, in order to misinterpreting that statement, in order to spread hate and Islamophobia. In this speech, particularly, he said that earlier, when they was in power, when they were in power, they had said Muslims have the first right to wealth of the nation. That is what Modi is saying. And then he goes on saying that this means they will distribute this wealth, the wealth of the nation, to those who have more children. Zyada bachon ko. So that is what his statement. Then he said, and to Guspetiyon ko, to the intruders or infiltrators. And then he's asking the crowd, should your hard-earned money to be given to the infiltrators? Do you agree to that? That is what he is asking the crowd. So basically, he is equating the Muslim community as intruders, infiltrators in the country, and much demonizing term as a community who give birth to more children. That is what he's basically saying. So these two demonizing statements he said about Muslims today in today's election rally. So we could not include this in this report, but interestingly, we could not. We had included around 70 non-exhaustive. So the word we used, non-exhaustive list of 70 randomly curated instances, should be underlined in the sense that it is being increased, or these kinds of hate and Islamophobia is increasing day by day, basically.
Absolutely, and it's that use of Islamophobic tropes, saying that actually these guys, these people are children producing people and producing more and more children, and essentially taking the wealth of the nation that way. So it's definitely dehumanizing, and we see that, of course, with most authoritarian regimes. They always kind of dehumanize the minority communities. And we see that with Muslims and Christians in India specifically. So thank you for that, Jassim Bhai. And as Jassim Bhai states, what we wanted to show in our Portfolio of Hate report is a trend of increasing dehumanization, and a trend of increasing violence, a trend of further indoctrination of Hindutva ideology into society. But we also want it to be a useful resource for decision makers. We want it to be a useful resource for media houses. We want it to be a useful resource for organizations that you can use. Because remember, UKIMC has this as its raison d'etre. We do this because it's, this is part of our role. But for your organizations and the people that you represent, you may wish to actually use quick and easy available resources like this without having to dig into depths and dig into detail. We've got it prepared for you, and we'd be more than happy to present it for you as well. So and that's the purpose of UKIMC long term. We can be that kind of educational tool that's what we want to be able to do, and hopefully this document will be that kind of one of the first steps. And we did that last year by our awareness workshops and so on, but we want to get more academic, and we want to start to resource everyone with the tools necessary. And please use us for that. You've got the information available on our website, our contact details. Please reach out to us. More than happy to help and support you. So, of course, the data reveals a repeated trend, as we've spoken, around that, hate-inducing rhetoric. In most cases, of course, the verbal and the symbolic violence then led to physical violence by followers on the ground. And though the primary focus of the report is on Islamophobia and anti-Muslim hatred, we actually have some clear areas that the report is focused on. So yes, Islamophobic disinformation campaigns, the report's been focused on that. And the cause for direct violence and genocide against Muslims, the report's also got that inside. The targeted campaigns for violence and social media social boycotts, right? Boycotting Muslim businesses, etc. Jassim Bhai, jump in anytime, don't worry. But that's what we've been seeing, even like kind of dehumanizing to an extent where they've created apps where they're kind of dehumanizing Muslim women and speech reflecting a patriarchal and misogynistic attitudes towards women, but Muslim women in particular.
Incidents can be added other ways here. With regard to social boycotts, there were real examples in northern part of India. Some neighborhoods of Muslims or businesses of Muslims have been called out to boycott by the Hindutva groups. And apart from that, this was not only directed at Muslims, it also directed against other minorities, including Christians. And they were portrayed as external threat. So like Modi's statement today, the minorities, including Christians and Muslims, have been branded as external threat. They are basically described as someone who is not native to the Indian land. That is quite often being perpetrated many times in these hate speeches. And misogynist and patriarchal attitude towards women is also visible, and particularly Muslim women have been targeted in those cases as well. For example, the apps like Bully Buy app, one of the app which was created earlier in order to symbolically auction Muslim women on online platforms. So these are some of those incidents that were widely circulated earlier.
Jazakallah Jassim Bhai, thank you. And in addition to that, anti-immigrant hate speech to cultivate fear and crystallize collective hate based on disinformation campaigns. And similarly, hate and disinformation campaigns against those that, those farmers and other depressed sections of society protesting against authoritarian laws, dehumanizing them. So that's all kind of formed part of it. So this is an incredibly resourceful document. Now, we've been talking about this document. I'm sure you're ready for us to show it to you. So here it goes. Okay, so Jassim Bhai, can you see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So it's a 55-page, easily accessible document, portfolios of hate speech profiles of key BJP candidates, 2024 elections. We start off with a little bit about our organization. We then go into the executive summary, and then table of contents and introduction, and then we've got the collection of hate speeches and the portfolios of hate, starting no other than, of course, the key figurehead of hate speech, a prime minister himself. Now, with each of the hate speeches, you just need to click on the actual link, and it will send you directly to the page where either there's an article or there's a video But all of these hate speeches have been checked through. They've been actually reported by media houses, and we've got the references. So all you need to do is just click on the links, and it will send you directly to exactly where that hate speech is coming from. And what we've done is we've given you the hate speech, but we've also contextualized it. So we've told you what the hate speech is, but we've also given you the link, and we've contextualized it and told you when that was said and under what context that was said. So there can be no room for any sort of misinformation. So we've given you a huge list of candidates, those that we know are running in the upcoming elections, and exactly what their specific role is and what hate speeches they've given. I think this is an incredibly resourceful document, especially if you've got a social media presence. You can use this document very easily. But especially if you want to educate others who believe in this misnomer of India being the largest democracy. What do you mean by democracy? If it's as a namesake, then or actually does democracy represent democratic values of social justice and so on? So a lot of people don't actually know the key basics of what these candidates are saying, what they are spewing, and the hate that this authoritarian regime is spewing. So we've got incredible information for you. Jasima, I don't know whether there's anything further that you wanted to add on.
This report will be available soon on our website, and we will take around half an hour more in order to upload everything on the website, and then it will be circulated on our socials as well. So please stay tuned to our socials, and we will be circulating the report soon.
Absolutely. The important thing here to say is that the Portfolios of Hate report is our first report of this year. There will be another report that is also going to be coming out later on in the year, which we are not going to share with you the details of yet, but that will be an incredibly groundbreaking report, and that is going to tie things down to the UK and explain the UK context. But please use this resourceful document, and please reach out to us if you would like us to use that resourceful document within your organization. More than happy. But more importantly, we need to discuss the ideology of Hindutva. We need to educate people around the ideology of Hindutva. No matter what your background is, UKMC would be more than happy to help and support and work with your organizations in order to bring that ideology to light. So thank you all for being part of this launch today. We will share this document with you very soon. And please support UKIMC. Please try and join us in whatever capacity you can. Our email address is available on our website. We also have a Join Us page. So please reach out to us, and thank you for listening.